1 ounce and a half. And I'm going to be using a Gibraltar glass. Ah! Everything went tumbling down. Welcome to Whiskey's a Journey. My name is Peter Fasciano, and today we are going to head out of Park City, Utah, and we're going to head over to Buffalo Trace Distillery in Kentucky, and we're going to be taking a look at the Sazerac Rye. And if you guys stick around until the end, I'm also going to be making a Sazerac cocktail as well. So Sazerac straight rye whiskey is coming in at 45% ABV. That's 90 proof. Like I just mentioned, this is coming out of the Buffalo Trace Distillery. And just like all Buffalo Trace Distillery products, their mash bill is undisclosed. But I do believe this is going to be rumored to be the bare minimum rye at 51% rye, 39% corn, and 10% malted barley. So let's go ahead and pour this, nose it, taste it, talk about it, give it a rating, give it a score, and then make a cocktail at the end. Oh my gosh, here we go. And more of the stats. This is a 750 milliliter bottle. In Phoenix, Arizona, I paid $32.99. There is no age statement on here, but I do believe it's anywhere from 4 to 6 years old. Even before I picked this up, I can smell sweetness. And yes, I smell a lot of sweetness. I'm not getting the typical dill and pine notes in here. Nothing floral, nothing herbal. It is sweet. Completely different than the High West Double Rye. Get a little bit of ABV, a little bit burning on the nose, maybe a little bit of ethanol. Very slight pine note, but overall it's sweet, and that sweetness might be some like sugary candy sweet. Almost like a simple syrup. Let's get it on the palate, see what I think of it. All right, on the palate, piney, herbal, floral, sweetness, tannin on the side, a little bit of bitterness towards the back end, and I'm also getting a effervescence feeling as well. Every once in a while, I get this in the whiskeys that I'm drinking. It has almost a carbonated sensation on the tongue. I really do like that sensation. I'm not necessarily crazy about the overall flavor of this, but that was just my first sip. Let's get that second sip down and see if anything changes. Second sip. There's that spice, the rye spice or the pepper, cooking spices, not necessarily Christmas spice, but there is a peppery sensation along with that effervescence. The oak bitterness is there, that tannin is good, nothing overwhelming. I'd say it's pretty well-rounded, nothing spectacular, but it's also not bad at all. The finish, it's lingering around a little bit. I think the rye spice adds to the length of the finish. I'd say it's medium to long. ABV and that pine note is still lingering. Yeah, not bad at all. So a little bit of information about Sazerac. I'll get a third sip in, we'll give it a score, and then we'll move on to the cocktail. Like I mentioned in the introduction or the beginning of the video, this is a Buffalo Trace Distillery product, but it's owned by Sazerac. Sazerac is actually a family name, and this started out as a cognac in France in 1630. In the 1800s, Sazerac shipped their cognac to the United States. It kind of made its way down to Louisiana, and the Sazerac Cocktail started to appear. And I don't know the exact history of this entire thing about how Sazerac got to the United States and how it went from a cognac to a rye. I think it had something to do with that bug that decimated the vineyards over in France. Flaxilura or something like that. Not exactly sure how to pronounce it, but it devastated the vineyards over there. And then the United States was a good production of rye whiskeys. So they eventually started using a lot of rye whiskeys in cocktails. This became popular in the coffee houses down in Louisiana. And the coffee houses were nothing more than bars and saloons. It just seemed to be a little bit classier to call them coffee houses rather than bars. One of those coffee houses was the Sazerac House, and along with the help of Antoine Peychaud, he ended up creating some bitters along with some absinthe, and people used this as a medicinal purposes. He had an apothecary house, and then eventually that elixir, or whatever you want to call it, made its way into the Sazerac House, and then they started to make the cocktail, the Sazerac Cocktail, either from cognac or from rye whiskeys. I think the history behind it, some people are saying that it was never made with cognac and it was always made with rye whiskeys. There's also some information out there saying that because of the bug that killed or decimated the cognac scene, they ended up switching to rye. I don't know. It's not for me to say. I'm just here to drink and make the cocktails. So there you have it. Let's go ahead and get this last sip in, give it a score, and we're going to move on to the cocktail. All right, on that intake of my breath right before the actual sip, I definitely got a pine note. That pepper rye spice is coming through. I think I'm acclimating to the tannin and the bitterness now. So the finish is rather rounded, rather pleasant, no sharp edges, with the exception of that sharp spice note that's in there. It's an easy sipper, nothing spectacular. So my rating system is out of 5 stars. And if you guys are following along in my series, I'm basing all of my rye whiskey scores off of my original video, which was the Bullet Rye. I gave that a 3. I think it's straight down the middle. It's a standard rye, nothing great, nothing spectacular. And I think this falls right into that same category. I do like this slightly better than the Bullet Rye. The sweetness that is in here, the drinkability, the well-roundedness, the spice, the ABV, I'm going to elevate this just a little bit more. And I'm going to put this at 3.25. 3.25 out of 5 stars. Let me know what you guys think of Sazerac in the comments down below. Do all those things that YouTubers ask you to do. Like, subscribe, share, turn on that bell notification. If you're not subscribed to the channel, consider subscribing. I'm trying to make a push to the 2,000 subscriber mark before my 1st year anniversary, which is coming up on May 1st. So support the channel, subscribe to the channel, do all those things again, and let's go ahead and get on to the cocktail now. All right, so I have everything ready. And before I start, just to let you guys know, I am not a cocktail mixologist person. This is basically the second cocktail that I've ever made in my entire life. So I, like most people, go on YouTube and I found this guy called Anders Ericsson. So these recipes that I have for all of these mixed drinks are coming from him. Highly entertaining. I would suggest you guys check him out. And I'm going to leave a link for his channel in the description below. Go check it out. And all of the stuff that I have here, I basically got from him. And then I just put all the stuff into an affiliate link in the description. So if you guys are interested in any of this and you want to help out the channel, I get a small commission for that. So here we go. Here's what we're going to need. Sazerac Rye, bottle of cognac, absinthe. The absinthe that I have is only going to be used for aromatics. And I have a little spritzer thing here for that. We have the Peychaud's bitter, Angostura aromatic bitters as well. So to assemble this, or to put all this together, you start out with 1 dash of Angostura bitters. I think that was 2, but that'll do. 3 dashes of the Peychaud's. I don't think I know how to count. That may have been 4, but we'll see. And then we've got 1/4 of an ounce of the semi-rich simple syrup, which I don't have. I'll be right back. 1/4 of an ounce. So we've got little marks in the bottom of this. 1/4 of an ounce. 1/2 ounce of the cognac. And 1.5 ounces of the rye whiskey. 1 ounce. And a half. And I'm going to be using a Gibraltar glass. Ah! Everything went tumbling down. So I'm going to be using a chilled Gibraltar glass, and I think it's called you're serving them up. And I don't know if that means that you're not serving them with ice or if that just means you're serving them chilled. So I have one of these in the freezer. I'm going to add ice to this, mix it up, and then see how this thing goes. I've got a lemon for garnish. Yeah, we'll see. I'll be right back with the ice and the glass. Okay, to the glass. And I'm using filtered ice or filtered water for the ice. Give this a stir, I guess about 30 seconds. I think that'll do it. And then 8 sprays of the chilled glass. Ugh, I missed my mouth. Black licorice. Holy cow. Anise. That's the absinthe. Tastes like black licorice. All right. Chilled glass. Got the julep strainer. Pour that in there. Get a little lemon zest. Express the oils. Is that what you call it? Express the oils over the top. Trim this up. Make it look a little fancy. Set it across there. And there you have the Sazerac. Cheers, everybody. Let's see how this tastes. Holy crap, that's good. Lynn, I know you missed the first time we made this thing, but next time you're over at Mary Bridget and John's house, I'm making you one of these. This is fantastic. Me not being a cocktail person, holy cow, that is good. You get the lemon across the top as you're bringing it up to your mouth to take a sip. The rye whiskey, the black licorice anise note from the absinthe, the chilled glass, very, very good. All right, you guys, that's where I'm going to leave it for today. Just like always, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed already. Leave some comments down below. Give me a like, turn on that bell notification, share this with somebody in the whiskey world that might get enjoyment out of it. And I'm getting a lot of enjoyment out of this Sazerac. So I'm going to sip on this for a little while. You guys enjoy your journey, and we'll talk to you guys next time. Bye. I've got to clean up all the junk that I just spilled. I'm a mess. All right, we'll talk to you guys later.